Hi all. I'm still not completely okay, but I just wanted to get this out so that you guys have it and it's in your hands. Um, so I said that in our next KPI episode, we were going to talk about your friend Riley. I want to reiterate again, Riley is a fictional character. His partner John is also a fictional character. So before we get started, I want to make sure that you guys are aware of this, that you're not like, ooh, who is she talking about? Nobody you know, they do not exist, they are not real. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the Hello. Welcome back to my channel. My name is April and you are watching Leisurely April at Home. Today we're going to talk about our KPIs. We're going to wrap up our KPI conversation and we are going to continue with learning how to budget and talk about what things we can improve, where we can save money. All right, let's get started. So Riley is a 20-something barista. He lives in New York with his partner John, and his partner John works in hospitality. His partner John is a front desk worker at XYZ Hotel. Together, they make $77,000 a year. They rent a studio apartment in the Bronx for $1,800 a month. They are on a family phone plan specifically, that they pay $160 a month on, plus an additional $22 per person for phones. Their internet is $60 per month, utilities are $130 per month, and public transit costs per month are $132 per person for an unlimited Metro card. Each has student loans. Altogether, their student loans amount to about $527 per month in total. Riley and John each have some credit card debt that amounts to about $550 per month in total. They only have about $1,568 per month left to spend on groceries, savings, incidentals, and subscriptions. So Riley and his partner, we know what's going into their household, we know what's coming out of their household. Let's talk about what they have left and any other incidentals they might have. I mentioned that Riley and John both have about $550 a month that they spend to service credit cards. They also have Netflix, Hulu, Tubi, Crunchyroll, and Coursera. So we know that Tubi is free. It's free. You do have to deal with ads, but it's neither here nor there. But what we don't know is how much Netflix, Hulu, Crunchyroll, and Coursera are going to cost. I've included those numbers right up here. Okay? So altogether, let's revisit what's coming out of their household. We know that they are getting $5,059.17 per month. That is net. That's after taxes. They're spending $1,800 per month in rent, $130 per month in utilities, $204 per month on their phone, $60 on their internet. Their transportation is $264 a month. Student loans are $527 a month. Netflix is $17.99. Hulu is $9.99. Tubi is nothing, Crunchyroll is $7.99, Coursera is $59, and their credit cards that they're servicing are $550 a month. Altogether, this couple has about $1,529.20 left. They don't have a regular savings. They eat out. They don't cook at home. This money that they don't have a regular savings that they're using to spend on things like eating out is all money that could be going towards a high yield savings account. And in terms of no regular savings, I mean they are not contributing a regular amount to their savings, and what money they are throwing is just going into their regular banking savings account, which is not generating a lot of interest. The interest is the most important part here. Now, what they need is a high yield savings account to deal with what is left over, and they need to cook at home. These are the two things that they can improve. Cooking at home will save them a lot of money. Groceries, yes, are expensive. For a couple in New York City, they're going to spend this amount each month. Now, this amount that they're spending each month on groceries together for them to eat at home could be reduced simply by choosing to purchase their essentials at a bodega, at an H Mart, or other local grocery store, or by, if they have some outdoor space, using a hydroponic gardening system to plant their own greens or whatever. This is where they can save money. Right now, the imperative for the two of them to live in New York is to survive and to continue to maintain their income. They also need to be able to have money that is in a savings account that is generating additional income. Why am I talking about a high yield savings account? A high yield savings account is generating income on top of what you are putting into that account. There are a few that I'm going to include in the description box below, but my favorite ones to use personally so far have been Ally and Aspiration. Those are my two favorites. I have also used, I love how I put two favorites and I've got 3 fingers up. Anyway, here's why I'm talking about a high yield savings account. You need one specifically because you need to be generating additional income on top of what you're already setting aside. That interest on a high yield savings account is income. You're going to have to claim it on your tax returns. However, because you aren't, if you're listening to me, you're not a billionaire or a millionaire yet. Not a millionaire yet. You're going to want to earn income on your savings account. It's important. Get your money up. This is how you get your money up. Get that high yield savings account. I've included some links down below. I have some personal favorites to use. My personal favorites happen to be Ally and Aspiration. I like both of them for very specific reasons. Ally is very easy to access. Aspiration, not as easy to access, but it is very eco-friendly, which I appreciate. One thing that I think I failed to mention was how important it is to have a savings account specifically to cover any sort of emergency situation or emergency event. You need to be in a position where if you have any sort of major medical incident, you can cover the costs associated with that medical incident, or you can cover the costs associated with whatever you need to recover, any sort of major financial situation, what have you. Say John or Riley loses their job. If either John or Riley loses their job, what's in that high yield savings account is going to cover their rent and utilities while Riley or John is looking for their next job. This is why the savings account is important. You can't constantly eat your extra. You need to set it aside. It's important. You have to survive. And right now, it's even more important than ever with rapid rising costs of living, rapid inflation. It's important. Get that high yield savings account and set aside regular money for that high yield savings account. So now that we've covered all of these things, I hope that you've learned something. Again, I've posted those links to the high yield savings accounts down below. Now, if you are two people that are like Riley and John and overall your cost of living, your living costs and your utilities and all of those other expenses are relatively low, but you don't have a regular savings account, if you can get to 10% of your income going towards savings, by all means do that. If you can't, if it's not feasible, set aside a small portion. It can be as little as $10 per paycheck or $10 per month that you are putting into a high yield savings account. The point is to start. The point is to start. So the sooner you start, the better off you will be financially. You're not going to hurt because you could probably use that $10 or that $5 or however much you're able to actually contribute. You're not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt because you're not losing that money. You're gaining that money by generating additional income and interest with a high yield savings account. I hope this has helped somebody. I love you all so very much. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.